Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of The Chef You and I, and today is our Valentine's program. I'm really excited because we're making some really different things today. And this year, Valentine's Day, if you are Christian or Catholic, is Ash Wednesday. So a lot of people actually want to eat fish or something that's not meat, red meat or whatever. So we are making a strawberry cake recipe that is to die for. And I have to tell you, my good friend lent me these beautiful, wonderful Valentine's pans to do the cakes in. Okay? So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to actually make the cake first. I've already preheated the oven. I have to make some puree with our fresh strawberries. So I'm going to give you the rest, what's in the recipe. We have 1 box of white cake mix. They're on sale, by the way. A package of strawberry flavored gelatin, which is in here. A 1/2 cup of milk, and it's 2%. 3/4 of a cup of oil. 4 eggs. And on all of our pans and our cooking, we are using Cornhuskers Gourmet Duck Fat Cooking Oil Spray, which is absolutely great. And I love it. I use it on everything. So here's what we're going to do. We already sprayed our pans. We used parchment paper. And what we're going to do now is we're going to make our cake. And we're going to put the 4 eggs, the oil, and I gave you the measurements before, and we're going to put 1 package, 3-ounce package of Jello, strawberry Jello. And then our milk, a 1/2 cup of milk. Okay. And then what I have to do right now before I start doing this is I have to puree these wonderful fresh strawberries that our wonderful assistant, Marian Merton, actually did for us. So I'm going to put these in, right? I just need to cut them in half, though. That's all right. Cut them in half and put them into the food processor. So you need a cup of puree, all right? Which we're not sure exactly how many strawberries we need to do this with, but we'll find out really shortly, okay? So this is great cake. Absolutely great. Everybody loves strawberries. At least I think they do. But you could use other things as well. You could use blueberries. You could use raspberries. Anything. Any type of really good fruit. And this fruit, the strawberries this year have been great. I got to tell you. And I love strawberries. So I'm going to go ahead and do this first to see if I can get a cup out of it. All right, because we're going to add that. All right, so we need to add more, which I'm going to do right now, because it's better to have enough, right? So all of our recipes, by the way, are up on our website at The Chef You and I. And actually, this is really a nice dinner. And actually, the Maryland crab cakes, the Maryland crab cakes can be either the entree or an appetizer. And today we're doing an appetizer with them. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then we're going to add this all to the cake mix. We should have a cup, definitely, on this. So I'm going to take this over and I'm going to pour it into this cup, okay? So now we have a cup of this, so we're going to add this to the mixture, right? And now we're going to take all of this over here, and then I'm going to mix everything up. And then we'll pour it, so you do a minute with this first, so it comes together. And then what you do is you actually can add strawberry jam to your frosting, so it's going to be pink, or you can even use food coloring. It doesn't make any difference. So now I'm going to speed it up a little bit. And we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, this will be all mixed together. Okay, we'll be right back. We are back on the Chef You and I, and actually I did the mixer for 4 minutes, and so that's what it looks like when you're done. So we're going to show you. You really whip this up a lot. So we're going to actually pour this into the pan. Stop. So now I'm going to pour it in the other pan, and whatever's left over, I'm going to add it to each pan. So here we go. Yeah. Add a little bit more to this. Here, and then here. All right, so then we're going to put this into a 325 oven for 29 minutes. But you got to check it, because when it comes out, right, you make sure that you take a toothpick and it comes out clean. So now that we've got that done, we're going to put this in the oven. And like I said, I want to check the oven first, because we're fine. I think I might bring that down a little bit. No, I think I'll leave it the way it is. So I'm going to put these into the oven. And the next thing we're going to do is take a real short break, and we'll be right back. And I'm going to make the crab cakes. We'll be right back on the Chef You and I. We're back on the Chef You and I, and now we're making Old Bay crab cakes. And we're baking them in a 450 degree oven. But we have to wait until our cakes are done. So we're going to make this ahead of time, and then we'll start on something else, okay? And then we'll slip it in the oven, and here we go. So the first thing is that you have 8 ounces of lump crab meat, or jumbo lump. And I'm going to put this in there, and I'm going to check as I'm going through it to make sure there's no shells. And that's the reason why I have on the gloves, because I want to make sure that there's no. So you can usually tell by touching it and going through it if there's shells or not. And the funny thing is, my daughter lives in Maryland, and we have crab cakes and crab when we go there, and I love Maryland crab. Okay, so I have my crab, and then I have 2 tablespoons of panko breadcrumbs, an egg. I have 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. I mean mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip, but mayonnaise, real mayonnaise. A half a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, which is right here, and 2 tablespoons, or actually 2 teaspoons of unsalted butter, but we're not frying it. But if you want to fry these, you can, okay? So you combine all the ingredients, And we're going to use a rubber spatula to fold it all in. And then we're going to make it into balls. And here's the Old Bay. I also added a teaspoon and a half of Old Bay. You can add more if you love Old Bay, but I'm not sure. Some people would never have had Old Bay, so we'll find out, but I think they're going to love it. It gives it a special flavor. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is combine all of our ingredients and use a rubber spatula and fold the ingredients together carefully, making sure not to break up the pieces. I didn't break them all up of the crab, okay? And this is more of a, this isn't really lump crab. This is just a little different, okay? So here we go. We're going to add this. We're going to, I'm going to beat the egg up, okay? Because that's what's going to hold it together. Add that, right? Add your mayonnaise. And I'll tell you what, these are going to be absolutely delicious. You can bake these, you can fry these, you can freeze them. That's the wonderful thing about making them with fresh. And my husband absolutely loves, here's my Old Bay, I'm going to add that, and my Worcestershire sauce. And that was a half a teaspoon. So we're going to add this all together and just mix it together very carefully and just combined it. This recipe will also be on the Chef You and I site when you go, and you'll see it under recipes, and you'll be able to watch the television show when you see actually our show online or on YouTube or on your Spectrum or whatever channel we're on. We have a lot. And now what we're going to do after this is we're going to form them into small, wonderful little balls, or because if you're just making appetizers, that's what you want to do. If you want to make the cakes itself, that's a little different. I'm going to take all of these and put these over in the here for right now. And we're going to check and see how long. We've got 21 more minutes in the oven with our Valentine cakes. So here we go. We're going to now move this all away, and then we're going to just move this out of the way. I'm going to hand this to my one producer. Here we go. And then we're going to show you how to make the actual cakes. Okay? So I'm going to make them into smaller, so you make it like that. And that's the reason why I have the gloves on. Very important. Now, if you want to make it into the cakes, I'm going to make 4 cakes. That's what I'm going to do. So, like that. Put it on there. Doesn't that look nice? And I still have another. I bought plenty of crab meat, fresh crab meat. And it tastes so much better than canned. But if you can't do anything else, you can do it with canned. That's 1, 2. Add that to there. And if you've never had crab cakes, you've got to try them. They're absolutely delicious. And so, but I used to live in Massachusetts where lobsters were unbelievably the greatest. But when we lived in Maryland, actually we used to go crabbing. And when you go to a crab restaurant, right, you don't get dressed up, I can tell you, unless you're going to a really fancy restaurant. We used to just wear jeans. They have newspaper out there. It's really wonderful. It's a treat. So our daughter, when we go to see her, she always takes us to the coolest places. So I have 4 here. This is for an entree. And but you can make it into smaller little, I could take 1 and make it into like a ball. No, I shouldn't. No, just make it into 4 crab cakes. And then we can have those as well. And then we'll bake these in just a few minutes. Move that one over a little bit. But you really want to put it on parchment paper. And I sprayed it too, so that makes a difference. And these will come out really nice. Okay. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. We'll put these in the oven just as soon as our cakes are done. And then we're going to make our shrimp linguini. And it is with lemon. It's awesome. We'll be right back. We're back on the Chef You and I. Our crab cakes are in the oven, and within 12 minutes, 10, 11 minutes, they'll be finished. We'll bring them out and show them to you, okay? The next thing that we're making, the cakes are cooling off right now as well, and then when they're cool enough, we're going to ice them for you. So we're making shrimp linguini. So the first thing that we need to do is tell you what we're putting in our recipe, and that's 1 pound of linguini noodles, white or wheat, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 3 tablespoons of olive oil. We're not using garlic, but if you do like garlic, 5 cloves of garlic minced, 1 pound of large shrimp, about 20 shrimp peeled and deveined, salt and freshly ground pepper and salt, half a cup of fresh chopped parsley, which our beautiful friend Marion already chopped up for us. We want lemon zest from 2 lemons, and 1/4 of a cup of fresh lemon juice, and a half a lemon sliced in thin half rounds. Crushed pepper flakes, if you like them, and a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. So we are boiling our water behind me, and it's boiling now, so I'm going to add the linguini noodles to that. So I need 1 pound of linguini noodles, and we have actually 1 pound. So we're going to add those, and I actually am going to break them up because it's a lot easier. So breaking them up. Yeah, right. Right, and we're going to turn that down, right? Oops. And this you can actually freeze as well if you want to put it in your freezer, because I always make, a lot of times I'll make enough to have another night or another week or something like that. And it makes it nice for you to, you know, plan dinners, especially for your family if you're working like we are. And so this is a lot of pasta. So it will be absolutely delicious. You can feed 5 or 6 people with this. And we're going to put this on a time, we're going to time this as well. And there you go. Everything is going to end up in this beautiful 360 skillet from the wonderful 360 cookware. And you can go up there and see their recipes. And so that needs to cook for how many minutes? Let's look. I think it's about 7 to 10 minutes. And I'm right. And then we're going to, no, 10 minutes actually. So this is 8. We'll add 2 to that and we'll have it done. Okay. So in the meantime, we're going to make all of this. We're going to actually get my gloves on because I'm going to take the tails off of the wonderful shrimp. Now, I like buying frozen shrimp. It's not that I don't like cooking it, but it just makes it easier, especially on a cooking show, to have it done. So that's what we're doing. And I'm actually going to devein. And if there's any vein in there, and it looks like the veins have been taken out, so I'm just going to take off the tails, because you don't want the tails on here. And I have like 22 shrimp, I think, here. So that's going to make a nice, wonderful meal for you. So, and then I'm going to make some zucchini, some yellow zucchini squash, or you could use green. You could do another salad, whatever you want. But I'm going to, some other time in the next day or two, I'm going to make some little crab cakes for appetizers for a thing that I'm going to, which will make it fun. And So here we get almost all of the shrimp done here. Then we're going to melt the butter in the frying pan, and we're going to actually just warm these up a little bit. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, like I said, is I'm going to turn this down, and I'm going to add a little bit of salt to it. So, all right. And a little oil. So I have a little oil here I'm going to add to this. Just a little. Okay. And I'm going to add a little salt. Okay. And then we'll let it go. So, now we've got the shrimp. We're going to actually, in our skillet, we're going to add the butter and the olive oil. And once the butter has been melted, we're going to saute the shrimp a little bit, and then we're going to add the parsley, the lemon zest, the lemon juice, the lemon slices, and the red pepper flakes if you want to use those. And then when the pasta is done, we're going to drain it, and then we're going to add it to it, which will make it really cool. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to bring this over, and I'm going to put some butter, and I'm going to put 4 tablespoons of butter in, and we're going to let that go, and then add the oil, and put this in here. We're going to put it on here, and we're going to let it, and with the 360 cookware, you don't want to put it on real high. You don't need to, because it conducts heat beautifully. So now that we've got that done, we're going to let it just heat up a little bit. And then we'll add our wonderful shrimp to it. So we'll just take a short break, and we'll be right back on The Chef You and I. We're back on The Chef You and I need to get some fresh lemon juice, and I need about 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice. So I'm going to use 2 small lemons. And we're getting there. Oh, lemon juice smells so beautiful. I love lemon. Everything that you could do with lemon, I love. We're getting there. Okay, that's that. Now I need to do one more. So, once you get this done, put them in here, in that wonderful bag well. I actually love that. And that's a gallon bag on there. Makes it really nice for not having to go to the garbage can or the trash can all the time. You've got it right there. Okay, we're almost done here. All right. That's the other one. Now what we're going to do actually is we're going to cut up these lemons. I'm going to zest one, okay, because you need a zested one, which we'll do. And we've done this on camera all the time. A lot of times we've done it. We're going to then cut, I think I'm going to use this bigger one to zest it, because they want a zest of 1 lemon. And if you've never zested a lemon, I love this zester. It's so easy to use, believe me. I don't know what I'd do without it, because I use all kinds of lemon, orange, grapefruit zest, all kinds of zest in my cooking, on my cooking show actually. And see how much that gives you. That's a lot. Actually, and you can buy it already done. I found it at the store the other day, I might even put a little of that in there too. So, and remember, you can get the recipe up on our website, which is thechefyouandi.com. Go to recipes from the home page and subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Kathryn Raaker YouTube, because that's free too. And if you've got a iPhone, our radio shows are on the iPhone app, which is Kathryn, Let's Just Talk with Kathryn Raaker's Let's Just Talk. That's free too. So you can listen to us and hear us and all the exciting things that we're doing. And so that's the easy thing to do. So we're almost done with this. I'm getting a lot of zest off of this. This is great. I think that's almost about it. So then you're going to slice these other lemons actually to put into what we're making over there. So look at that. And then this cleans very easily. Okay, so we have plenty of lemon zest there. And we'll use this lemon again. Okay, so I want to look at everything. I'm going to bring this one back. Now we're going to add our shrimp. And also we're going to add all these different spices, right, to it. And I want to get some pepper flakes out. Does anybody mind if we get some pepper flakes out? I don't think so. If you like pepper flakes, right? Well, let's forget it. It's not worth it. We're going to take the shrimp and we're going to go over and we're going to put it in the pan and we're going to let it heat up a little bit, right? You don't need to because they're already cooked, but you want to get them warm, right? And if you want to add more shrimp to this, you can, right? And I think next time I might do that. So, but that's over a pound of shrimp. Now I want to add everything else. I'm going to add to it the wonderful parsley. And I want to add in the lemon zest. And we can do this. And we want to put more in there. Don't waste anything on this. This looks delicious. And very shortly, the wonderful noodles will be done, or linguini will be done. But I have to. So we're adding lemon slices to it. It's just going to give it some flavor. Here we go. And we're going to add the lemon juice to it too. Okay. You want to take out those seeds. You don't want seeds in it. So I usually get seedless lemons, but for some reason these aren't seedless. But anyhow, we're going to put those in. And we're going to add the lemon juice now. So, oh, this is just ended. So we're going to turn this off. Okay, that's done. Now, our linguini should be done by now. Okay, I'm just going to try it out, but I have to watch this real closely. Oh, and I also have to take out my crab cakes, which look great. So let's take those out. Let's turn off our wonderful linguini for a minute, and we're going to take out the crab cakes. And I'm going to turn off the linguini. And I have to... Okay, so we're going to take out our crab cakes. I'm going to put them right here for a minute until I can shut the oven. Okay? All right, so we're going to get a plate. We're going to take a short break. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to arrange this on a platter. And we're going to add our linguini to our wonderful shrimp dish. I'm going to put this over here for a minute until I can get it on a platter. And we'll be right back on The Chef You and I when we have everything together. But we still have to cook our squash, which will take no time. So we'll be right back. We're back on the Chef You and I'm actually mixing this whole thing together, which is actually a pound of linguini, okay? And what we're doing is you could add a lot more shrimp if you wanted to, because the shrimp kind of shrink. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the salt and pepper to it and then put the Parmesan cheese on it. So you want to do pepper, right? So I'm grinding the pepper on there. All right. And the salt. And I could do pimento, or I could do red pepper. I could do salad seasoning. I could put some of this on. This is really good. And just give it a little flavor, right? Let's see, like that. And if you've never used it before, it's really, really good. Now, what you want to do is add your Parmesan cheese to the whole thing. Okay, and then I'm going to mix it again. And then we're going to put it on the platter so that you can see it, okay? Because it's got the lemon, already the lemon slices in it. You've got the shrimp. And so, anyhow, that's where we are. And we're going to take this and put this on that platter in just a moment. So give us time for a little break, and we'll be right back. We're back on the Chef You and what I'm doing next is I'm doing yellow squash, but I'm not taking the skin off because there's nutrients in the skin, right? And I'm doing it like when you do a cucumber, you do this with your fork, and it's going to make it look really pretty when you get done with it. And just some butter on it, a little bit of water, put it in the microwave, and it'll be done, and you'll have a wonderful, and I'm going to cut it like this, like that. See, look at how pretty that is. So we're going to put that in there. And it's such a nice vegetable. I love squash. And I know you will too, and very few calories, believe me. And you could put a sauce on top of it if you wanted to. But if you're watching your calories like everybody else is, then you don't want to add a lot of sauces to it, right? So that's what we're doing. And here we go. I love squash. I mean, it's so delicious, actually. I don't think my kids liked it too much when they were growing up, but, kids change. If you start out with your children with avocados and all the wonderful fruits and vegetables there are out there, you can get them accustomed to eating something totally different. But if you just give them chicken fingers and all that other jazz, that's, some of them, you want to get away from that. So try some new things with your children and teach them how to cook. It's really not hard. And all of my children love to cook. So, and they make great meals. And I'm glad they did because, in order to survive today, you've got to learn how to cook. Unless you want to eat just nothing but processed food. So here we go. We're almost done. We're going to do one more. This is a smaller one. I'm cutting off the ends. All right. And then doing the same thing I did before. Take your fork and go like that. And there are so many squashes out there that are so good for you. Not expensive, actually, and really taste delicious. So here we go. I'm going to use some little small ones on the top. And you can freeze these too. I mean, after you've cooked them, you can put them in the freezer in a freezer bag and have them for dinner. So, if you've got any ideas about what you'd like to make something less calories or you'd like us to use your recipe on our show, just email me at kraaker123@gmail.com or go onto our contact sheet on Kathryn Raaker's World or the Chef You and I. And if you want to be on the show and you live in the area, let us know. So, anyhow, I'm just ready to finish this, and then I'm going to put this actually into the microwave, and it'll be finished in no time. Then we're actually going to ice our cakes. I'm pretty excited about that. And so here we go. This is almost finished. And it's going to be really tasty. All right, so here we go. Put the last ones in right there. And add your butter. I'm going to put it in the microwave. Add some salt and pepper to it. And you're going to love it. And you could add spices to it if you wanted to. It's kind of plain without anything on it, but I kind of like it. I like the taste of it. So, and if you've never done acorn squash or any of the other ones, you should try it. Spaghetti. There's a spaghetti squash that's really good. Not a lot of calories in it. So let me wipe my hands off, because what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to add some salt and pepper to it. And we'll do that. All right. And sometimes you can add like tomato sauce to it, which would be good. And it would taste really good too. So there's the salt. And that's sea salt. And then the pepper. Right. And I'm going to add just a little tiny bit of cream into it. How about that? So let me get some out of the refrigerator, and we'll do that. And it'll taste really, really good. So I have some half and half right here that I'm going to add to it, but not a lot. And just add a little. It'll taste really, really good. Okay? We're going to put this in the microwave for like about 6 or 7 minutes, and it'll be done. And we'll be right back. We'll be right back on the Chef You and I, and we're going to ice our cakes. We're back on the Chef You and I, and this is the one part I love to do. I love icing the cake. And we're icing the strawberry cake, which we used Marion's Wonderful Pans to make the Valentine. So I'm using icing that is actually, it's a really beautiful icing, and it's a creamy and rich white icing. But you can make your own icing, which I've done before many times with powdered sugar. But you only have so much time on TV, so we're doing this. And then I will put some strawberries on the top of it, and it's fit for a king. And he loves, my wonderful editor, producer, husband, absolutely loves this cake. I know he does, because I freeze it for him and everything else, and he thinks it's really cool. So, anyhow, we're going to do the sides now. And actually, not too hard. And then I'll clean the plate off, which I always do. And actually, we took one of these strawberry cakes to a party, and I'll tell you what, they ate all of it. So, and don't worry if you get any crumbs on here, because guess what? I'm going to put sprinkles on. And it makes it really cool. So, that's it. So, and we'll be taking the squash out in a few minutes. And then we're going to show you everything and give you all the recipes so you can make a beautiful Valentine's dinner for your loved one or friends, whatever. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back on the Chef You and I. We're back on the Chef You and I, and this is the piece de resistance. This is when we actually get to show you what we made, and it turned out beautiful, especially the cake. And look at this lovely cranberry juice. It's a Canada Dry product, and it's really, really good. But anyhow, we have the first thing that we made was the wonderful cake. And then we made the Maryland crab cakes. And then we made the next thing we made was shrimp linguini and with lemon. And then we made wonderful yellow squash. And so you have a perfect dinner for Valentine's Day. And look at this gorgeous cake that we did and how it was decorated in lovely Valentine pans. And we want to thank Marion Merton for being with us today and helping us out so much, and Bill Raaker, our producer and editor. Thank you. And all of our wonderful people that help us out. We want to say thank you for joining us. Don't forget to go to our website at thechefyouandi.com in Kathryn Raaker's world. And don't forget to go to our wonderful radio show, Let's Just Talk. And thank you so much for joining us today on The Chef You and I. Bon appetit.
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandi.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.